Thanks for watching JabscoTech.com. I'm Jeff Lander.
And I'm Mike Irving.
And today we're going to talk about backflow coming back into your ceramic bowl.
We have a mock system set up here on our workbench. It's going to give you an idea of kind of a picture of what we're talking about. I know we're using corrugated hose. You're supposed to be using sanitary hose, but well, for this little setup here, we're going to use corrugated. Now, what we have here is we have a manual toilet that's going to be representative of any of our toilets, electric, deluxe flush, designer series, manual. And then we've got a Y valve. Some systems go directly to the holding tank, so but it gives you an idea. And then we got a holding tank and a vent for the holding tank. All of these parts are critical parts of the system. And what we want to talk about is we have customers calling in saying, "We have waste going into my toilet."
Yeah, we get a lot of calls on that, Mike. Me specifically, I'm the waste guy. I know it's a dirty job. Someone has to do it. But we get a lot of calls on that. Anytime you see backflow into your toilet, first things first, check the joker valve.
Yep.
If you can see light through there, or you look like you can stick your finger through there, it needs to be replaced. We have a couple of the videos that we did on what to look for and how to replace it. Review those as well, because that will give you an idea of more in-depth information on it. If you can see a pinhole of light, that's okay, that's fine. But like I said, if the joker valve checks out, the two other places that you're going to want to check, the discharge hose line itself and the air vent and the holding tank.
Now, what this shows over here is it's kind of representative of some installations where the toilet's installed, the line comes up, goes down, goes over a stringer, there's valleys, there's dips. If you have waste coming back into the toilet and the joker valve's okay, we want to check two things. It's going to be the plumbing and the vent. The vent's going to be the easier one, because what you can do is you take the vent off the holding tank if it's accessible, put this into a bucket just to kind of keep the spray from going all over the place, and spray some water in. Reason being is because the holding tank, if it's ever gotten overfilled, the waste comes up this line and gets trapped in a little screen up there. Waste dries out, turns into like a hard cement plug, so you want to try to blow that down through again. If you leave it attached to the holding tank, you could be okay, but you're also putting pressure into the holding tank, so whatever pressure you put into it, it's going to want to come back up the other way. So, if you've checked the joker valve and you've checked the vents, you want to check the discharge line itself.
Yeah, and Mike, we've seen cases where, we've had 1.5-inch discharge line, neck down to as little as a 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch, because of all the mineral and calcium buildup from either salt water, your urine, or waste itself.
Yep.
Now, basically, how to remedy that is take a couple of cups of white vinegar. You might need more depending on how long your hose line is or your installation. So take some white vinegar, flush it through the system, and let it sit overnight. What that will help do is that will help dissolve all that calcium and mineral buildup in your system. Come back the next day, flush some fresh water through there, and that will help any mineral buildup in your discharge hose line.
Now, one thing you have to keep in mind is if your plumbing is really old, you might need to call in a marine mechanic to come in and switch out those lines. If the waste has got built up so much that the vinegar is not doing anything, it's time to swap out those lines. Now, the big thing is don't use a plunger on the system, because you're going to invert that joker valve, and don't use your household or commercial drain cleaners. It's just not suitable for this system. Any other things we have to cover?
No, I think that pretty much wraps it up, Mike. Hopefully this video was helpful in trying to diagnose backflow into your toilet. I'm Jeff Lander.
And I'm Mike Irving.
Come back soon. We'll have some more videos for you.